Today we're going to be rating, as the video title says, stall alarms. 707. 707, 0 out of 10. No. 2 out of 10. 717.
Stall.
A little better. 4 out of 10.
Stall. Stall. Stall.
737. 0 out of 10. 747, 200, 100, and 300. So for the 747, 100, 200, 300, because it's the 747, 9 out of 10. Time for the Dash 400. Sounds a little lower, so 10 out of 10. Not that much. What the? Okay, 757, 0 out of 10. Similar to 737. 767, you're also getting a 0 out of 10. Sorry to all my headphone users for the 777. Let me turn my volume down. 0 out of 10. Upgrade the 777 stall alarm, please, Boeing. 787. Not as crazy. 9 out of 10. Next. Does not really sound like a stall. You could do a little better, Embraer. 2 out of 10.
Stall warning.
What the heck?
Stall warning.
0 out of 10. Now here's the area where we get the good stall alarms. A300, 1 out of 10. Nah, 4 out of 10 actually. A little better, 9 out of 10.
Stall.
Best stall alarm in existence. 10 out of 10. No one can beat this stall alarm. Back to the vid.
Stall.
10 out of 10 once again.
Stall.
Okay, so for the A340, Airbus only made one stall and then the beeping sound. So because of that, 9 out of 10.
Stall.
Okay, we got the second stall back, so 10 out of 10. The stall doesn't sound as good as the A330 or the A320, but hey, because it's the A350, it's getting a 10. Ooh, 3 stalls, 11 out of 10. Add more stalls, extra points. Next plane. Baby bus, because it's the baby bus, 10 out of 10. Hey, the baby bus is technically a real life version of the infamous Airbus A3 meme. It is now time for part 2. So this is going to be a little compilation of so we're going to do stall alarms, then pull-up alarms, then maybe bank angle alarms, and then fire alarm. Sounds good? Yeah. DC-9, my favorite McDonnell Douglas, besides the DC-8. DC9, you failed me. 0 out of 10. Not gonna lie, kinda sounds similar to the 707. What the hell, DC10? 1 out of 10.
Stall. Stall.
717 stall. But because it's the MD10? 7 out of 10.
Stall. Stall.
So I believe the MD, around the MD era, like MD11, MD12, no, MD11, MD80, MD90, MD95, which is the 717. That's the merger between McDonnell Douglas and Boeing, I believe. Anyway, back to rating.
Stall.
Kind of sounds like Infinite Flight. I won't be doing any Infinite Flight on the channel, just to let you know, because very hard for me to take off. So yeah. And if you're wondering what I am having for a video drink, it's Pepsi Electric Zesty Citrus. And the actual soda is blue, so yeah, and it's actually pretty good.
Stall. 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 Stall.
Same as MD80, just different. But because it's a little better than MD80, 9 out of 10.
Stall. 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 Stall.
What the hell, Boeing C-17? 4 out of 10. Could be a little better.
Stall. Stall. Stall.
Part 3. And I was actually watching part 3 on my TV, so I'll know what the stall alarms sound like. The Antonov AN-142. Uh, 3 out of 10. Could be a little better.
Stall. Stall.
Antonov AN-132. Slightly better. 4 out of 10.
Stall.
We already rated the DC-10. I forgot what we rated the DC-10, so for this one, 3.4 out of 10. Oh my god! 0 out of 10. What the hell?
Stall, stall.
That 8350 stall alarm sounds a little different. And because of that, it gets knocked out. Some points get knocked out to an 8 out of 10.
Stall, stall.
Doesn't sound as it used to
Stall,
be.
stall. Stall, stall.
2 out of 10. Doesn't sound that good. Why does it kind of sound like a if you put Pac-Man eating pellets at like 4 times the speed? And because I just said that, 9 out of 10. Uh, 6 out of 10. Don't really like it that much. This is a little different than the first 747-400 we saw in part 1. 9 out of 10. Pretty good, Boeing. Pretty good. Okay, DC-9, you failed me in part 2, but you did a little better in part 3. 4 out of 10. Kind of sounds like a deep fart. 2 out of 10. What the? 1 out of 10. It sounds like the last minutes of a bomb, and then the bomb will blow up. A little better. 6 out of 10. Kind of sounds like the 707, but a kind of bit faster. 4 out of 10. Wait, hold on.
Stall. 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 Stall.
1 out of 10. Doesn't really sound that good.
Stall. Stall. Stall.
What the hell? This sounds like a rap music. Sounds like rap music. Rap music going a bit faster. And we probably know the Yak 42 stall alarm by this point. Once we get to it. Yeah, we probably all know that stall alarm. 2 out of 10. I mean, 4 out of 10.
Stall. Stall.
Doesn't really sound that good. 5 out of 10.
Stall. Stall.
What the hell? It sounds like a tornado siren. 0 out of 10.
Stall. Stall.
A bit better than the regular version. 4 out of 10.
Stall. Stall.
Ah, my ears! 2 out of 10 for that one. Okay, F4.
Stall. Stall.
5 out of 10.
Stall.
Stall. Stall. Stall.
Okay, we're back to good stall alarms with Airbus. 9 out of 10.
Stall. 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 Stall.
B-17, 2 out of 10. 9 out of 10, and love the livery. Especially that Komodo dragon on the side, because Komodo dragons are my favorite reptile. Time for pull-up alarms. Here we are. Starting with the 707. 707 failed us in the stall alarm. Let's see if it could do a bit better in the pull-up alarm. Kind of sounds similar to Japan Airlines 123 pull-up alarm. 9 out of 10. Sounds pretty good.
Altitude.
Once again, the 717 failed us. 2 out of 10.
Altitude.
Still, almost sounds like Japan Airline 123 pull-up once again. 9 out of 10.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull.
Okay, we're getting a bit better with the pull-ups. 8 out of 10.
Up. Pull up.
Very interesting how Boeing decided to do a long engine for the first variant of the 737, but then went to regular engines for the Dash 300, Dash 400, Dash 500, Dash 600, Dash 700, Dash 800, Dash 900, 737 MAX 8, and 7, and 9, and 10.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull.
Okay, that's a little better. 10 out of 10.
Up. Pull 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 up.
Yes, the iconic Japan Airlines pull-up alarm. 10 out of 10.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
really that good. 9 out of 10. Nah, let's kick it down to a 7 out of 10. Also forgot to mention we'll be adding the overspeed alarm.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Kind of sounds like the 757, just a little different. Just because of that, it gets boosted to a 9 out of 10.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Ah, yes. 777 failed us with the stall alarm, but it did not fail us with the pull-up alarm. 10 out of 10.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull
Going
up.
a bit faster.
Pull up.
10 out of 10 as well.
Pull up. Pull up.
You're a little deep there. 9 out of 10.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
9 out of 10 once again.
Pull up. Pull up.
4 out of 10.
Pull up. Pull up.
10 out of 10.
Pull up. Pull up.
9 out of 10.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
9 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for the A350.
Pull up. Pull up.
9 out of 10 was the
Obstacle
A350.
ahead. Pull up. Obstacle ahead.
Hey, at least it tells you the obstacle is in front of you. 10 out of 10. No, 11 out of 10 just because it tells the obstacle in front of you.
Pull up. Terrain ahead.
Once again, the TU-154 failed us. 2 out of 10.
Pull up. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
4 out of 10. Sounds similar to the TU-154.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Terrain. Terrain. Pull
DC-9, you failed me once again. 1 out of 10.
up. Pull up.
Now we obviously know the iconic DC-10 pull-up. 10 out of 10 because it's so iconic of the DC-10.
Pull up. Pull up.
9 out of 10.
Pull up. Pull up. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Pull up. Terrain.
9 out of
terrain.
10.
Pull up.
Sounds pretty
Pull
good.
up.
Okay, if I was flying this plane with a different language, I would have no clue that would be pull-up. Nah. Still, sounds pretty good. 6 out of 10. Same thing. If I was in this plane with a different language, I would have no clue what it would be saying. Still, it sounds pretty good. A little better than the Yak 40. 7 out of 10. 10 out of 10. We also know of this pull-up alarm as well. Okay, Illusion, you failed. You did good with your IL-76, but not the Temu version of the A340. 6 out of 10. 10 out of 10 because it's the newest plane in PTFS. 4 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Me like you. Doesn't sound that good. 4 out of 10.
Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
Bit loud, but
Terrain. Pull up.
for the Ember E-Jet, a bit loud, but 10 out of 10. Antonov 124. What the hell is going on inside the cockpit? 0 out of 10.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Hey, at least it still says the obstacle is in front of you. 10 out of 10.
Terrain ahead. Pull
For the
up.
old
Terrain
pull,
ahead.
pull
Pull
up
up.
of the A380. You sound similar to the DC-10. DC-9, old pull-up alarm, so 10 out of 10.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
4 out,
Pull
4
up.
out of 10.
Pull up.
Altitude, altitude. Pull up, pull up.
You're a bit
pull up,
fast,
pull up,
2 out of 10.
Pull up.
Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Terrain, terrain.
10 out of 10 because it's only because it's the have the in Canada plane.
Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up.
Pull up, pull up. Pull up, pull up.
Okay, this sounds hilarious. 11 out of 10 because it sounds funny.
Pull up, pull up.
Pull up.
10 out of 10.
Pull up. Pull up.
9 out of 10. Okay, time for bank angle alarms. Instead of doing the 707 at the beginning, we're doing the 737.
Bank angle. Bank
Yes, the iconic bank angle.
angle.
10 out of
Bank angle.
10.
Bank angle. 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 Bank angle.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
Doesn't sound as
Bank
good.
angle. Bank angle.
4
Bank
out of 10.
angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
Sounds a little
Bank
better.
angle. Bank angle.
7
Bank
out of
angle.
10.
Bank angle. 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 Bank
Sounds
angle.
better.
Bank angle. Bank
10
angle.
out of 10.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
Doesn't sound that good. 2 out of 10. Sounds a little better. 3 out of 10 though. What the heck? 2 out of 10.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
Okay,
Bank
a
angle.
little better.
Bank angle.
4 out of 10
Bank angle.
though.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
You're a
Bank
little
angle.
deep, so
Bank angle.
9 out of 10.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank
Too slow, and the voice is a bit too deep. So, like, talking a bit too low, so, yeah.
angle. Bank angle.
What the heck? 9 out of 10 though, sounds pretty cool. Bank angle, bank angle. I can barely even hear it. 0 out of 10 because I can barely even hear it. This is probably from that Spain Air Star Alliance flight with this plane.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
Ah, yes. The iconic bank angle is back. 10 out of 10.
Bank angle. 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 Bank angle.
9 out of 10.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
Still sounds pretty
Bank
good.
angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
Your-
Bank angle.
your
Bank
voice
angle.
is
Bank
talking a
angle.
bit too
Bank
slow,
angle. Bank
2
angle.
out of
Bank
10.
angle. Bank angle.
And that's it. Fire alarms. Wait, hold on. The creator who made this one made a part 2. Should we watch? Let's watch part 2. Yes, part 2.
Angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
7 out of 10.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
Bang angle, bang angle, bang angle, bang angle,
9
bang
out of 10.
angle, bang
Sounds
angle,
pretty good.
bang angle, bang angle.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
7
Bank
out of
angle.
10.
Bank
Because
angle.
it's the same as the
Bank angle.
747.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
4 out of
Bank
10.
angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
Sounds like a siren alarm. Sounds like a tornado alarm again. 0 out of 10. 6 out of 10 because it is the Antonov.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
7 out of 10.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
Once again, the C5 Galaxy failed us. 1 out of 10.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank
Sounds
angle.
a bit
bank
better,
Angle,
9
bank
out of
angle,
10.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
4 out of 10. Okay, fire alarm. So remember the YouTuber who made the bank angles that we just watched? This is the same YouTuber. So yeah. 717.
Fire left engine.
Okay, sounds
Fire
pretty
right
good.
engine.
7 out of 10.
Fire left engine. Fire right engine.
2 out of 10. Okay, we obviously know what the 747 fire alarm sounds like because of the Charky CVR. 6 out of 10. 2 out of 10. 9 out of 10 because it is Air Canada. 1 out of 10.
Fire number 1 engine. Fire
Yes.
number 2
10
engine.
out of 10 because we're back to the GPWS telling you which engine is on fire.
Fire number 3 engine. Fire number 4 engine.
7 out of 10. Okay, 6 out of 10. Ah, 0 out of 10. Sounds like a horn instead of a fire alarm. Okay, did a little better. 6 out of 10. Sorry about my battery.
Fire left engine.
Yes, DC-9
right
finally
engine.
has not
Fire
failed us.
left engine.
10 out of 10.
Fire right engine. Engine 1 fire.
Ah, yes, the iconic fire alarm. 10 out of 10.
Engine 2 fire. Engine 3 fire. Fire left engine.
10 out of 10 once again.
Fire right engine. Fire left engine. Fire right engine.
Okay, 2 out of 10. Yes, we obviously know what the fire alarm of this plane sounds like thanks to Charky. 10 out of 10. 0 out of 10 once again. The Com Air 990 is failing us. Negative 1 out of 10.
Left engine fire. Right engine
9 out of 10 because it is the Learjet.
Right engine fire.
2 out of 10. Sorry, Antonov. 9 out of 10 because it is the Concorde. Okay, time for the final alarm. Well, maybe I'll add the autopilot disconnected. And that final alarm being, overspeed. This video is not as long as the other alarms because very hard to find overspeed alarms for some of the planes, I guess. So yeah, 0 out of 10.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
2 out of 10.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
Ah, yes, the iconic overspeed alarm with the 737 because of Gall 1907. 10 out of 10. For the 747, 9 out of 10. And for this one, for the 757, 2 out of 10. A little better, 4 out of 10. A bit loud, but for the 777 and the 787, 9 out of 10. Okay, time for part 2. Oh, remember from the beginning of the video with the stall alarms with Day Rage Aviation? We're back with him. Part 2. A300, 2 out of 10. Two out of 10. Well, because it's wearing the Air Transit livery and Air Transit is a Canadian airline, 4 out of 10. Sounds pretty good. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 once again. For the A350, it was so loud, so 2 out of 10. A380, 8 out of 10. Part 3. The DC-9 failed us. 4 out of 10.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
6 out of 10, sounds pretty good.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
I feel like the colors are like the camera is like this one filter, so that's why the colors look a bit bright, but nevertheless, 7 out of 10.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
9 out of 10.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
10 out of 10.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
Okay, so I have finally decided we will do the autopilot disconnection. So the de Havilland Comet was the first ever jetliner, but I think had some problems. So that's when Boeing came in with the 707. 2 out of 10. Four out of 10, a bit loud.
Autopilot.
9.
Autopilot.
No, 4 out of 10.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
Sounds like a fire truck, a siren. 5 out of 10. 3 out of 10. 7 out of 10. 2 out of 10. 6 out of 10. 7 out of 10. 7. Wait, this is gonna be hilarious. For the 777, 777 out of 10. See why I did that? You're a bit loud, but 9 out of 10.
Autopilot.
You're a bit
Autopilot.
loud, but also 10 out of
Autopilot.
10. 3 out of 10. Hey, Abe. That autopilot disconnection you just heard, I believe that's also an iconic autopilot disconnection besides the 737 Next Generation, so 10 out of 10. 2 out of 10. Three out of 10. An iconic autopilot disconnection. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. No loud, but still 10 out of 10. Airbus, I think you downgraded a little bit. 9 out of 10. Sounds a little better than the A350. Back to a 10 out of 10. You failed DC-8. 2 out of 10. Barely can even hear the alarm. Okay, 6 out of 10. You sort of failed us, but not really. I did not even know Aeromexico made some of their DC-9 stripes orange. I thought it was only red because of that mid-air collision with that one Aeromexico DC-9 and that small propeller plane. I forgot that Aeromexico flight number. If you know what one I'm talking about, let me know in the comments.
Autopilot.
You're a little loud, and the alarm kind of sounds like a police siren, but nevertheless, 8 out of 10.
Autopilot. 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 Autopilot.
Sounds a little better. Still pretty loud, but 9 out of 10.
Autopilot. 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 Autopilot.
Autopilot. Autopilot. Autopilot.
10 out of 10 because we obviously know what the autopilot disconnection for the Legacy 600 is, thanks to N600 XL CVR after the collision with Gall 1907.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
2 out of 10.
Autopilot. Autopilot. Autopilot.
Autopilot.
2 out of 10.
Autopilot. Autopilot. Autopilot.
9 out of 10 because it is the Learjet. 2 out of 10. Me don't like it that much. 4 out of 10 sounds a bit better. 3 out of 10. We're getting it back. We're getting bad. Okay, 10 out of 10. The Superjet saved it. 9 out of 10. Low, a little loud. 10 out of 10 because it is the Concorde. 9 out of 10. 2 out of 10.
Autopilot. Autopilot. Autopilot.
4 out of 10.
Autopilot.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
The beeping kind of sounds like when you arrived at the top floor of an elevator in the IKEA for some reason. But for the Sirius Vision, 6 out of 10, not bad.
Autopilot active.
I have no clue what you are saying, so 0 out of 10.
Autopilot active. Autopilot active.
6 out of 10, not bad. Could be worse. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed.